And we're live.
We are live. Look at this. We are Pierre Gasly, Carlos Sainz, Lance Stroll, Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo.
Yes.
Now, if you follow us on, well, obviously I posted it on the YouTube channel as well and on Twitter yesterday, we've had some lappy top issues, which means that I currently cannot edit videos, although hopefully the new one will arrive today or tomorrow morning, which will hopefully get normal order restored on videos. But it means that you get an F1 Fantasy weekly live stream. We're obviously going to do the Monza review, the Mugello preview, and we're excited to kind of do this there. Unfortunately, no kind of fancy graphics to new numbers.
No, we got fancy graphics.
Okay, so we got fancy graphics.
Shall we come on screen?
Oh, hey! We're back in the same position if you found us from there.
Hello, Liam.
Morning.
Hello, Motor Meerkat.
Indeed, morning there. Morning, both of you. Hope you're doing well. I'll make sure that I kind of tweet it out live. But yeah, we're doing our thing.
Doing our thing. No, now you look down. Now I pass on camera, and now you're going to look down.
Well, I'm going to tweet now.
Shall I take us back on camera?
Okay, excuse us for some technical difficulty. Don't just keep switching between the two.
I was getting confused.
You're giving people
I'm
epilepsy
looking down.
again.
You were meant to be filling this time
Why do you
whilst
like
I
giving
was
people epilepsy?
filling in graphics.
Epilepsy
You can't even know what
is
chat's
not a
doing.
good thing to give people. Right.
I've just woken up as well, Motor Meerkat.
Yeah.
Now I'm on a live stream.
It's just how the world goes.
Oh, up since 8, Liam. At your grands. Nice. Nice. You're working on a project with Worldwide Motorsport at the moment.
Oh, that sounds very, very cool.
But yes, hello.
Hello. Oh, I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Obviously, it's early in the UK. How did you all get on in the fantasy game this week? Let us know. I suppose we can do that kind of as F1 Fantasy Weekly. We can talk to people in the chat.
Talk to people live.
Do you think Gasly's win has put him on the map of top teams? Yes. Yes, I do.
Instant. We're both looking down again. You podcast you on? You don't care about fantasy, Liam.
He doesn't, but he's just here for the ride, so that's nice. You are going to probably be disappointed, as the majority of this live stream will be talking about fantasy, because it is F1 Fantasy Weekly.
Bam.
Right, I've tweeted. I can
go.
actually look at you guys, and we can go from there. So yeah, Italian GP.
Give them up on your phone.
For a fantasy. Oh yeah, I need to get the chat up. Oh, look at this. You're forcing me to look down again.
That's a good point.
But yeah, honestly, we got some top teams. Look at this.
Down.
We have
No
got
one
some
can see
exciting.
this. You're just.
Oh right, sorry. Well, Stephen's got some stuff up on screen, so I'm amazed. You can tell my face is amazed by kind of looking that front there. But yes, for a fantasy perspective, this Grand Prix weekend was awful, because it was very unpredictable. But if you had the Gaslys in your teams, the Lance Strolls, which I think most people had, the Lando Norris capitalising on that race streak as well, you were going to make some mega points.
Oh yeah. Wait, 2 seconds. We may suddenly mute ourselves.
Okay.
Okay. Only for 2 seconds.
Are we muted?
Look. Okay, you may be able to hear us again.
Okay, do you hear us? Are we good?
There we go.
I think we're good. Anyway, F1 Fantasy Weekly. So, as usual on F1 Fantasy Weekly, it feels weird doing it live, and obviously as live, it'll be more chaos because we'll go from there. But we will give you, obviously, the top 5 drivers. We'll go through Stephen's spreadsheet and tell you the rest of the scorers from this weekend's race. We'll give you the top 5 constructors and also the top 5 players in the league this week before we look ahead to this weekend's race at Mugello and who we think will be good fantasy points. Definitely Ferrari. Ferrari. Certainly going to be. I can't stop them being top picks. Best
I've
car
already
of the year.
taken a -30 hit.
Absolutely.
Going double
Monza,
Ferrari and the team.
Monza has just, showed how good Ferrari were this year.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Solid points finish coming on.
But Stephen, do I hand over to you and you round up the kind of top 5 points?
Yes. Here we are. The spreadsheet. Right in front of me. I don't even have to squint to read it this time. So, here we go. Pierre Gasly was number 1 with 45 points. Carlos Sainz was second with 37 points. Lando Norris was third with 35 points. Lance Stroll was joint third with 35 points as well. Daniel Ricciardo rounds up the top 5 with 23 points.
Was that Lando Norris 35 with his race bonus?
Yes.
Okay.
Because obviously he finished 4th. So
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That's the top 5. No Mercedes, no Ferrari, no Red Bull.
Crazy. How?
The first time
Ever.
since Lewis Hamilton hasn't been in the top 5.
Yeah, that's crazy. His streak.
No longer have we had a top 5 driver throughout the whole season.
That's crazy. But he obviously still finished within the top 10, which means that his streak coming up in a couple of weeks' times when you can mega drive again, certainly be looking out for that to kind of make some good points up in fantasy.
Yeah, so the rest of the table was Valtteri Bottas 20, Lewis Hamilton 17, so he was only 7th overall. Esteban Ocon 15, Nicholas Latifi 15, Jesus Latifi. George Russell 14, Roman Grosjean 13, Kimi Raikkonen 10, Daniel Kvyat 9, Antonio Giovinazzi 6, Sergio Perez 4, and then we got the minus points of Alex Albon -1, K-Mag -2, Max Verstappen -4, Charles Leclerc -11, and Sebastian Vettel -14.
It's harsh on the bloke, isn't it? Brake failure -14. No sympathy from fantasy, just the points. Bang, they don't care.
So, yeah, he's only on 40 overall now. So
Absolutely brutal.
crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I would love? If you could turbo Ferrari drivers, if they were just that top end, like 19, 18 million, I think that would be quite fun. Because at the moment, you just don't pick Ferrari. But if you could turbo them, they're like very expensive. That could be good. Could be good fun.
I don't think so. I don't know what fun you're kind of going on.
What do you mean?
What fun is turboing Pierre Gasly and getting 90 points? That's what's fun.
I know, but
For half the price.
Charles Leclerc's, he's put in some good performances, as we can see there. 3 top 5s. He's a gamble.
Yeah, but...
And if you could turbo them, they actually make it worthwhile to pick a Ferrari.
Well, Pierre Gasly is the best turbo of the season so far.
I know.
That's incredible.
Yeah, but Pierre's not going to win every single race. Whereas
No.
Charles Leclerc could be in the top 5.
I mean, he's very sporadic. He's gone from 41 to -13, -1, 33, 32, -8, 4, -11. I mean, we're all over the place.
But that's what I mean. If you could turbo him, he's like that gamble. I think that would be good. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Viandra.
Hi, Fiandra. Bam, we got them both there.
Thank you very much. We got them all. Even Katie helped out with saying hi to Viandra.
Well, I think I missed a comment from Liam. What Seb said about reverse grids didn't age well, did it? What did he say? Anyway, this one's F1 Fantasy.
Yeah,
So,
well,
that's the spreadsheet. That's the top 5. That's the everyone else, the rabble. See, who lost out big this week? K-Mag. That cheap option gone -2. Another disappointing week for K-Mag. There's some terrible results.
Valtteri Bottas hasn't got any minus points this season and is still behind 20 points behind Max.
We're doing good, Viandra. How are you doing?
Yeah, we're doing very well. Right, constructors, is it?
Oh, I haven't got that graphic.
Oh, that's all right. But we can look it up. We can look up the constructors. Am I switching into reading the chat?
Yeah.
Oh,
actually,
Kobe Bryant is here. I don't know.
My chat slightly better.
Obviously, that's someone in memory.
Oh.
But I don't know if that's King Kobe.
Oh yeah, it could be.
But yeah,
Were you in the
Kobe?
top 5 this time?
I don't know. Certainly interesting on that front. But as always in fantasy, we have a stalling moment where we're trying to get the graphics up in terms of that. But yeah, Pierre Gasly, massive surprise in terms of that. And just
Best
trying to look.
turbo of the season.
Lance Stroll's 156, Lando Norris 168. You know, they look like some guys that you probably should be getting in your team. And where's Daniel Ricciardo? Daniel Ricciardo's on 124. So yeah, those three, I think, if you had them across the season, very good. Obviously, Gasly's shot up to 115 with that performance there. Alex Albon's actually got 123, but for his price, that's really not a great return. I mean, and the Ferraris, let's not even talk about that. 77 and 40 points so far this year. And then George Russell, 29. He's actually done... let's go 29 to 34.
George Russell's done
Grosjean.
bad. George Russell.
Nicholas Latifi has 57 points this year.
I know, it's ridiculous.
That's mad. But yeah, look. Oh, are you excited? Here we go. We got another graphic coming up.
Okay, so they can still hear us, maybe.
Maybe. We'll see. If you've got a short interlude.
Top teams. The top teams will shortly be arriving on screen.
Is it just us at the moment looking very confused at screen?
No. This is what.
Okay. Look at this. We're properly doing some things. Oh no.
We're probably doing some things.
Okay, Kobe's 10th this week. Shocker. I suppose Gasly really was a big swing there. I did see some new names in the top 5 this week when I had a brief look. And who's Vettel, by the way? Oh, right, yeah.
The year's top scoring constructors. McLaren with 62 points. AlphaTauri 49 points. Racing Point 34 points. Renault 33 points. I think we said they were outside bet if you did want to risk a cheap constructor. Turns out it was McLaren. And then Mercedes still made the top 5 with 27 points.
Crazy. Absolutely mental.
Yeah.
Mercedes. How much is that a difference between Mercedes and McLaren? About 35. That's quite a big swing.
Yeah, something like that.
Puncture songs should be sung during interludes. Sorry, puncture. Right, so that is the top scoring constructors. Oh dear, live streams. It's not as smooth as when we do it on there. And considering that we're not very smooth on our normal kind of fantasy podcast, I think that sums up where we're going. But yeah. I suppose we're going into the top 5 of the team now. Top 5.
There we are.
Hey, hello.
Before we bring back us on screen.
We're back on screen.
But I'm still looking down.
Oh no.
Michael's looking down.
K. Kobe did a turbo on Danny Rick. I think I had a turbo on Danny Rick. What a big miss out.
I took a -10 and brought in Lando.
I was very tempted to do that.
I brought in Lando and Pierre. That was my transfers.
You genuinely brought in Lando and Pierre?
Yeah.
And you had Stroll?
No, I had Checo. I thought Perez had the better race. But, well, he would have if Checo hadn't walked into a podium. Okay, so top teams, yes?
Smooth is overrated. Completely agree. Anyway,
Get
top
rid
teams.
of that.
That's gone.
We need to go back.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, I need to download. Oh no, did I download them?
Yeah, I thought you did.
I'm going to download them again.
Okay, right, brilliant.
We're still on the blank screen.
Oh, darkness is the soul of our... You can tell we are very good at live streams, graphics, and putting stuff on screen for you. It's a smooth transition. You wouldn't get this type of stuff on the F1 word, that's for sure.
Bam. Who we got first?
Oh, we have P5.
Oh, I've lost him. I can't get him back.
What do you mean you get? Yeah, you can. P5, DX23, Dijou, a new entrance into the top 5.
Yes, he came 5th. He was 5th. We're still number 5 here.
Well, this could be a random order for who's going.
Hopefully not.
We're going. Lewis Hamilton, Russell, Perez, Stroll, and Lando Norris Turbo. Well, the Lando Norris Turbo definitely helped bail him out in this situation, because the rest of the team wasn't actually that high scoring, but it actually was one of the good weekends for George Russell, funnily enough.
Yeah. So yeah, not bad. He was number 5. Hopefully we have number 4 coming up next.
We got 2. It's Grant. Oh, gee, Grantka has moved up to P2 in the league. Fantastic.
Wait, Grant.
Yeah, he's joined second.
Oh
my God, because we've got a new man on top spot.
We're going to have the top 5 here somewhere.
So, at some point, we will have the top 5. It's Stephen's Creations. It's, I don't know what. But Grant Team 2, he had Perez, Hamilton, Giovinazzi, Norris, and Stroll Turbo. Stroll Turbo worked out very well in terms of that. This is literally Batman vibes. What does Batman vibes mean? Oh yes, because it was black, dark. Gotcha. Potentially.
Okay,
it's a gamble. Who's going to be?
Got...
It was number 1.
Number 1.
V Bam here. All my trust. And he put all his trust in Lando Norris, Pierre Gasly, Lance Stroll, Russell and Hamilton with Mercedes to make it an incredible week. What was that? 208 points. Which is a massive swing, because a lot of people looking at that 159, 147. Yeah, wow. A massive one. 70 points. The only way he could have made some more points if he could have made 20 more points if he turboed Pierre Gasly instead.
I can't line
Oscar
up. I'm
is
sorry
joining.
if that offends you.
Right. Okay.
I need to shut these on.
You do.
Okay. We've still got 2 to go. Who's going to be next?
This is effort. I don't know how we get here.
Here we go. Here we go.
It's P2. Scuderia Dinico H. Ake, who had been kind of leading the championship for the past 3 or 4 weeks, I think it was. Turbo Lando had Grosjean, decent return. Ricciardo, Perez, you see, missing out on Stroll and Gasly has really cost him only 144 points and took a -10 hit this week. For HAK, a poor week, and it shows just a poor week, even though you've been dominating, can change everything up in the league. So a fantastic performance from HAK. Certainly was.
It's a disaster. Yes, okay, so on to the last one. It will really be over.
You just need to sort whatever the hell this is.
Like, people want graphics, and I give them graphics.
I mean, this is the... What are we doing? Can you even remember which one?
Should be...
Okay, let's go for it. And it is P4, McLaren are sick. M. Booth sticks in the top 5, which... so we had 3 of the top 5 stay there, and 2 drop out. He had Stroll, Russell, Hamilton, Turbo Norris, and Perez with Mercedes. Only 147 points. But just shows, you know, how number 1, look at that, 208 points. That's a massive jump out of those guys closing the thing. This certainly was, if you happen to have the right guys in your team, a very positive weekend. So now, nobody's team is called F1 Fanatics. I know. Boom. I can't believe nobody's team is called F1 Fanatics in the F1 Fanatics League, apart from mine. Is it, or do I just call it Mike's team? I don't know. But hello, Jordan or Lyle. Which one of you? Welcome into the chat.
So that's the top 5.
It is.
I think. Are we done with the review?
I think we are done with the review.
You've seen the point stuff. This is the top 5 in the league, and
now it's us.
You've seen us.
Well, while the F1 debate show were there in chat, they had a very awesome interview last Friday with Alex Jacques, obviously F2 commentator on Sky, but if you have F1 TV abroad, he also is the official F1 commentator on the F1 TV stuff. So yeah, fantastic guy, and it was a really great interview, so make sure you go and check that out. Certainly go from there. It's Lyle. Hello, Lyle. Thank you for joining us here. But anyway, we're now looking ahead to this weekend, and top picks, I don't know.
You don't know?
Do I put my... I think we said Norris was a good pick, and Stroll, because he was traditionally at Monza, so that's worked out well. I think we said Pierre Gasly was in form, so I think we did that. I don't think we said Pierre Gasly would win the race.
No, we definitely
did. Maybe people...
We definitely said he'd win.
Yeah, maybe people will give us credit for just picking those three. I think they were in our top picks. Mercedes, well, Lewis Hamilton would have been a top pick if it hadn't been for that bizarre kind of red flag incident.
Yeah.
So, well, sorry, not red flag. Well, yeah, red flag and the pit lane being closed.
Red flag, pit lane closed.
It was carnage.
Safety car.
Absolute chaos for him. So, yeah, I think this week, Lewis Hamilton, it gets boring saying it each week in, but the Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton are that good. So I think normal order, bar chaos, will be restored this weekend, and you won't go wrong with having Hamilton and Mercedes in your team. I think they'll probably return back up to the top.
Always the top picks.
They are the leading scorers by quite some distance, so even over the course of a season, you may miss out on a couple of races with them, but certainly over the course of the season, you are going to massively make those points.
I was thinking, does Mugello suit them? But every track suits them. They're so far ahead that they can win at any track. But Mugello has lots of high-speed corners.
Yeah, which team has been good? Red Bull say they haven't been good at high-speed corners. Renault haven't. Maybe do we expect McLaren to be the second quickest car again, and Norris and Sainz are good bets?
I think Renault should come back. Because it's going to be, what, similar to Spa?
It's even...
Or not similar?
I think it's even more downforce than Spa.
Yeah, so Renault...
But Ricciardo says that the car performs better with less downforce. But then Monza didn't work out that way. So I don't actually honestly know.
McLaren is probably a good bet, actually. But I think Sainz is still too expensive.
Kobe said, is Renault a lost cause? As a constructor, definitely.
Well, you never know. This could be the week they get... no, it probably isn't.
I think we looked at it. Stroll, Norris and Ricciardo are the top three scoring midfield drivers. So I don't think Ricciardo's a lost cause. I think he's still a kind of strong guy to have within that. Yeah, it's... hello, Nico's Pondering. Welcome into the chat. But yeah, I don't think Renault are lost cause. I think Daniel Ricciardo, how he's driving this year, is driving absolutely fantastic. So that's certainly, I think, got to be a positive for keeping him in your side. But I think McLaren are going to be a really good bet. Gasly just seems a driver in form. So around that 10 million thing, are we looking at Gasly over maybe someone like Sergio Perez now? Although Sergio Perez probably should have outscored Lance Stroll this weekend. He just benefited poorly. But Stroll just seems to be finding ways of scoring points this year. So he seems... If you're going to pick one out of the two... I mean, what is the difference between Stroll and Perez?
So Stroll's got 156.
And Perez is on 87.
Wow.
That's quite a significant swing. So if I know Perez's price is going up, but if you could afford Gasly instead of Perez, I think having a combination of Ricciardo, Stroll and Gasly would probably be good, or Norris, Stroll, Gasly for your midfield teams. I think that would be very good.
Yeah. Norris, great bet. Stroll, probably a great bet. Ricciardo,
but we weren't paying attention.
You don't know.
Because Kobe very aptly points out that Perez has a double point boost bonus this weekend. So he has plus 15 with a race and quali streak. Apparently, according to...
Let me quickly confirm.
Yep, Supermax for Stevens.
Yeah.
Chart there. He does love that.
People have their nicknames.
McLaren would be a comfortable third if Sainz hadn't got as much bad luck. Probably. McLaren are more used to competing in those top positions. I still think the racing car is better than the McLarens, but their team just aren't used to competing at the top. So their results and capitalising on good situations is rather inconsistent. Although McLaren definitely capitalised on this weekend. Gasly wants to go back to Red Bull. Isn't that a gateway to misery, judging how things are still looking at Red Bull? Potentially. Are Red Bull going to be as big a team when 2022 rules come along? Although I have seen an article today saying that Adrian Newey is now back fully focused on the F1 team. He'd lost interest when the engine wasn't good. That's literally... I think they literally said, Christian Horner, that he lost interest in the project when they couldn't compete. But now he can see that we're more competitive again. He's got more of an interest, and obviously the 2022 rules bring back some interest as well. So yeah,
Bottas is on a race streak. Albon's on a qualifying streak, and as Kobe said, Checo Perez is on a race and quali streak.
Well, that makes, if we go into turbo picks, Perez is an easy turbo pick this weekend, I would say.
Yeah, Racing Point should do well. At Mugello, they've been so meh recently. I'll go back to us. But yeah, with the quali and race streak, it's definitely a strong turbo for Checo Perez. So we're going for Mercedes, Lewis as your expensive picks, and then Stroll, Norris, Checo for your midfield picks.
Yeah.
And then
also, I think Gasly and Ricciardo are in there as well.
Yes. Yeah, Gasly had a very good spar, actually. I put Gasly in the 4 and then Ricciardo just outside those top 4.
Yeah.
And then for your cheap picks, Roman Grosjean.
Latifi and Grosjean again, because Latifi just keeps scoring points.
Latifi's too expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
How much was he on the spreadsheet? Latifi is 2 phase ahead of Roman Grosjean.
Did Russell outscore Grosjean this weekend?
No. Yes, by a point.
Okay, so there's not much difference between there. AlphaTauri beating Red Bull is like your younger brother scoring with a girl before you do. Lyle, brutal. In terms of that, but yes, AlphaTauri winning the race over Red Bull is a rather crazy situation. It certainly is, I think, on that front.
Yes.
I'm not really sure how that has happened, but yeah, mental in terms of that. But yeah, those are top picks. Who to avoid? The usuals: Ferrari, Magnussen, because he seems to have just the worst luck in the world. I don't think he's the worst driver to have in a team, but his luck is just awful. Albon, obviously, for his price, isn't going to score you great points.
The Ferraris and Albon.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Giovinazzi. Don't go. He's too inconsistent for me.
Yeah.
He can get you good points every so often, but he's too inconsistent.
Bottas. I suppose Kobe Bottas is one to avoid because he's all over the place. But I suppose with a race streak this week, he could counter. So maybe not the worst one to avoid this week. But yeah, generally as a whole, I would include Bottas certainly on that list.
Kvyat, not going to be his teammate.
Yeah, that's true. Gasly's flying. Daniel Kvyat, he's just not worth the risk, which makes it really difficult, actually, because everyone's suddenly getting there, so it's difficult to kind of get big points. So it's capitalising on the big weekends when it pays off. Obviously, when I turboed Stroll, that happened, but having neither of Norris or Gasly for this weekend, I think really cost. Even if I took like a -20 hit, to get that, and you would have easily made those points back this weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. Red Bull was so bad this weekend that even Max was getting beaten by a racing point comfortably. Yeah, fair shout to DT. Just
Max
they
had a
struggled.
bad race.
Max is really unhappy. He was saying that the car's just slow this year. Now, I mean, I think that's just his disappointment in terms of there. I still think it is overall the second quickest car on the grid. I know Max massively outdrives it to an extent, but I think it's stronger. I always think if a driver can drive it that quick, then a car is that quick, is it not?
Yeah, exactly.
And yes, you can put the argument, if you put him in a McLaren, Racing Point or Renault this year, what would he be doing compared to the Red Bull? But it's difficult. It's difficult. I still think they got a decent one. Ocon maybe to avoid. Yeah, potentially.
I was thinking that. He was a bit angry.
And he's quite expensive for what he is.
Yeah, it's either Ocon or Gasly. And you'd probably go for Gasly out of the two.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly on that front. But yeah, I think that probably rounds off the kind of preview in terms of picks, top picks, who to not picks, turbo picks for this weekend. So rate your team. I don't think we had anyone submit for rate your team this week. I didn't see anyone go from there. So I suppose
we can rate your team in chat if you want to.
Well, yeah, absolutely. If you want to kind of put your team in chat, we can go from there. Will Ferrari score points in their 1000th Grand Prix this weekend? No.
They have more hope than they did at Monza.
I mean, if the race goes normal, obviously, barring chaos, if there's chaos, then obviously yes, because we've seen Pierre Gasly win a race, so which wouldn't happen in normal circumstances. But say if the race goes under normal circumstances, Ferrari do not have a chance, legitimately, to score points. Of what we've seen on the power circuits of Spa, Monza and Mugello so far, they've not got a chance.
No, they didn't. No, because they got beaten by Kimi in Spa, didn't they? And that was on merit. So they didn't finish in Monza, so we don't know how far back they would have finished. So yeah, Mugello's going to be much of the same.
Yeah, which nicely moves us on to the Kimi moment of the week.
Bam.
And it comes under red flag conditions. And it was this clip circulating. I think it might have been released by Formula One, maybe on their Instagram or some sort. If Katie is still in chat, then this was shared to me by Katie. She always is on the lookout for Kimi moments of the week. And this is a brilliant one. So coming into red flags, and tyres can get cold, can't they?
Yeah, they can.
You don't want tyres to get cold.
No.
What do tyres need to stop them getting cold, Stephen?
Maybe some blankets.
They do.
Just to warm them up.
They need some blankets. And Kimi was concerned for his tyres. They needed blankets. And he was just like, guys, we need to get the blankets on. And they're like, the blankets are coming. He's like, where are these blankets? Stop telling me the blankets are coming when the blankets aren't here. Where are they? Shut up about telling me where they are and get them on the car. He was very in typical. There was expletives in pretty much every other
classic
word.
Kimi.
In classic Kimi fashion. But yeah, blankets. It's,
blankets. Get me them blankets.
I think, we need to start a donation for tyres on the grid. They need their blankets. If you donate just £5 today, you too can provide a blanket for a cold tyre out there.
Oh dear.
There is a last race to use first wildcard and I don't need to do any transfers. What a waste. Well, I think you just absolutely smashed it, James May. So don't worry about that. If you don't need to use the wildcard, yeah, frustrating. Maybe there could have been points earlier in the season that you might have used it. But obviously you get a new wildcard for the second half of the season. You don't get to carry the one over. A new Mega Driver. So if you're in a good state, that's good from there. But yeah, that is... Sorry, distracted. That is the Kimi moment of the week. Kimi getting very upset that his tyres weren't blanketed. I recommend... I don't know if I can kind of leave a link to it in the description below. But I recommend you go and find it on F1's Instagram. Maybe Katie can help She's in the chat and she found the video. Maybe she can help on that one for the chat on there. If Gamer's bad luck continues, he could just be used as a method for sabotaging races to make them more exciting.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well done, Kevin. And yes, obviously, driver ratings. Rox wanted him to have 642 out of 10 for his amazingness to give us that race that we got on Sunday, of course.
Yeah, we rated him harshly. With a no score. We gave him a no score because the score he deserved was too high.
Yeah. Aditya says Kimi was really pumped for that restart. He genuinely thought he could get a podium until the engine and tyres let him down.
Yeah.
It was so sad. But how amazing was that to see Kimi Räikkönen still fighting in those podium positions?
Yeah.
And, you know, he stopped Carlos Sainz getting past for a long while, didn't he? And, you know, he made it difficult for people to kind of get past him. Yes, sadly finishing outside the points in the end. But it was brilliant to see Kimi Räikkönen, you know, one of the best drivers over the past couple of decades in Formula 1, fighting in those podium positions with the likes of Sainz and Gasly, who were in superior cars. But Kimi still got it, y'all.
Kimi still got it.
He certainly does. Oh, Oscar has stopped the stream.
Not the stream, but the stream on the phone.
Oh, how do you think they could improve F1 Fantasy? As a question for us. Well, obviously, I mean, obviously we did our series in the winter break in our things to improve F1 Fantasy. I still think, because obviously you have to create a spreadsheet each week.
I have to do a spreadsheet every week.
So I still think, obviously, that if they could give a breakdown of everyone's points per weekend, and, you know, you could see that sort of thing.
Because they still only do the top 5.
That would be massive in terms of that one. Obviously, they introduced the Mega Driver. I think that's quite a cool thing. Maybe something else. Like a what's it in Football Fantasy? They have a free hit or something like that where you completely change your team for 1 week, and you get one of those to use in a season to kind of capitalise on points. And usually, I think in that Football Fantasy, that's when like you get a fixture congestion, don't you?
Yeah, double fixtures.
Where you can, I think, or no, it's not fixture congestions, but it's like only half the teams play.
No, when you have a team, there's 2 fixtures in a week.
Yes, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so that maybe would be quite cool in terms of that. We said before the prizes for third prize. I know obviously people like Rox had said in the past that getting third prize, she would prefer an F1 TV subscription for the year rather than general admission tickets. But I think obviously.
Well, now I know Alex Jacks commentates on the F1 races.
Yeah.
Gotta be worth it to get away from Crofty, right?
Certainly has on that front. But yeah, obviously you go first is paddock pass, second is grandstand, isn't it? And third, we reckon, should be general admission. That would be cool on the prizes. But the actual game itself, I think it works reasonably well.
Yeah. We don't have a separate app for it yet, so it's still a bit clunky logging into it and then getting logged out of it if you do something weird. But yeah, still a bit clunky. But yeah, overall the game's massively improved from last year, I think, in terms of the whole interface and whatnot.
Maybe not quite a significant punishment for switching teams out, so you can really risk putting in the kind of double sub for a week. But I suppose -10 isn't too much of a heavy deficit, so yeah, it's interesting that. So yeah, Kobe, those would be some things that we think would improve the game. Anything that you guys think would improve the game as you're kind of in chat from there? Charles' crash was certainly massive. It was great to see him walk away from that kind of unharmed in that. Maybe even allowing free subs. I don't know, free subs, because I like the punishment that you pick a team and then you've got to manage that, and you kind of got to take that gamble. If you want to make a big risk, taking that -10 hit and weighing up, will you make those points back? Certainly on that front.
What about carrying over a free sub?
Yeah, carrying over free sub would work, because that's what they do in Football Fantasy. If you have no free subs, then you can have 2 free subs the next week, so you can start planning your teams. I think that would be cool, certainly on that front. But yeah, No.
Yeah.
But that's probably it for F1 Fantasy. I think we've rounded up everything. We've done the usual kind of F1 Fantasy weekly. Obviously, it's taken a bit longer because we're on live stream, and as usual with our live streams, it's a little bit chaotic in terms of that. I guess the investment part would be hurt by that. Yeah, absolutely, Edwards. And I think people playing the markets, it's with those people making that investment in time in that, it's some serious investment in time to kind of win paddock passes. You've got to reward those type of people, definitely involved in the games. Guys, if you are in the stream and you are watching and you haven't already, drop it a thumbs up. We do appreciate it for kind of liking the streams there. If you are new around here, obviously drop us a subscribe, certainly on that front. Hopefully normal order will be restored next week, but hopefully you didn't mind the live stream for this week. That certainly...
We got there in the end.
Yeah, we did. We got there in the end. In terms of it, we got to make sure that you guys at least get F1 Fantasy weekly every week without possible. And obviously the live streams is the way to come to that. Look at that, 10 likes, jumped up massively. Certainly on that one. Thank you so much for that, guys. Thank you for kind of paying attention and watching. Good luck to everyone's teams in Mugello this week. Obviously we will be back with our normal, and it will be just a race review, won't it? Because this triple header has flown by realistically on that front, hasn't it? This is the last race in the next triple header, so it'll only be a review next week.
Yes.
Running through the points. So a shorter episode for next week. But guys, thank you so much for everyone coming into chat and joining in. It's been fantastic, obviously interacting with you live during this and catching up and asking your questions during there. I hope you enjoy the race action. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below with your teams if you're watching this after the live stream has gone out. But yes, that's it from us. So for now, you F1 fans, keep racing!